Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. We can also totally relate to Mary's earlier talk, as we've worked with Mary before in the past. We do represent Metropolitan College in Greece, and Antonis, the director of this is virtual campus, and my colleague.
And I'm Chrysoula Mangafa, and I'm the deputy director of academic affairs.
Just a brief introduction on what we're presenting today. We're presenting online learning readiness framework in which we did implement to students, while at the same time try to build an entity by itself. As our institution did have 8 campuses, 8 physical campuses, we did launch a virtual campus to accommodate our online students. So many challenges along the way that took place in 2022. At the moment, the college as a whole has got more than obviously nearly 30,000 students, and we're the largest TNE institution in Europe, as 99% of our operation is TNE based, currently operating with 4 different British universities. In a nutshell, we've got nearly 900 students with data up to now. And as you can see, our student growth has been quite large, and this is our biggest challenge, how to cope with increasing number of students, increasing number of programs, at the same time deliver a high quality of education, as most of our programs are asynchronous. Different faculties and programs. So our basic initiative was in computer science with University of East London. We did launch our programs, trying to offer a good mixture of theoretical and practical programs to begin with, and many psychology theoretical basis. Just a few data to give you a brief introduction on the number of students we brought and the percentage, as well as students by faculty. You can see that there's a large difference in psychology and humanities versus other programs. That's the brief introduction of today's.
And so we want to find out, due to the vast number of programs we offer students, and mostly, as Antonis said, as asynchronous, we want to see how ready our students are to start their studies at college, and what are their abilities and their digital skills before they start, but also their attitude to online learning. So we wanted to look at their technical competence, their self-regulation, and social connectedness with their peers and their tutors. So what we did is we did an online survey, and we had 128 replies about online learning readiness, and we used these 2 questionnaires, and we combined them, and we had obviously different for the students to complete. So in terms of demographics, as we saw earlier, the biggest number of the students come from the psychology department, so that's why most of the responses come from that faculty. In terms of gender, it is mostly female, and they are mature students. So we're talking about the age of 31 and 45 years old. So these students, when we ask them about their motivation learning and online learning, they seem to be mature students that are highly motivated and they're interested in online studies. And that's why they pursued doing this with us. Which coincides with the literature about that when you study at distance, you need to show maturity, you need to be highly motivated, you have goal directedness, but also be able to study independently but collaboratively at the same time as well. And the biggest challenge for us as a TNE provider, it means that the students are Greek speaking, so Greek speakers, who come from a totally different educational background in the secondary school. So at secondary school, in Greece, it is more about rote learning, and it is about learning by heart, and actually just spoon feeding the knowledge to the students. And suddenly they come to the university and they have to provide them a rigorous education where they have to learn and practice criticality, higher order thinking skills, and being able to drive their own learning, which is a challenge. And that's why I wanted to say where they are at the moment and what we can do to support them in their online studies. So we looked at 5 different categories, starting from computer and internet self-advocacy, which actually means what are their digital skills, so what are their competencies. And the majority of the respondents said that they are proficient users of technology in terms of finding information online and using the basic tools in Microsoft Office. But they were not able, or they're not confident enough to take a step further and use technology in a more creative way, or being able to use different online tools to support their learning. In terms of learning control, it means that the participants that they are not distracted by social media and or other external factors, which explains what I said earlier, that they are highly motivated and they want to study and succeed in their studies. When they asked what are their goals, is they said that they want to get high grades. That comes again from the Greek context that the education system is exam focused and they want to do well in exams. The other category is self-directed learning. Here, the students said that they do not often use the support services available to them, such as support in academic skills, study skills, or in terms of other support services like well-being and counseling services. Because they said that they are able to carry out their own study plan, but when we asked them about what tools they use to manage their time, they were not able to say that. Next category is motivation for learning. Again, the students said that they are motivated and they feel that they acquire the skills to be ready to learn online. And they believe also the same for their classmates, for their peers, and for their tutors. So when they were asked what do they think the tutor's attitude is towards online learning, and they said that they're very supportive and they know how to use Moodle as our LMS platform and how to communicate with them. When it comes to the final category, which must be online communication, and it was the only category where the students scored lower than the other. This means that there was a lack of online engagement with their tutors, and that they prefer to change ideas and collaborate with their peers outside our LMS platform and use social media platforms and group chats to communicate like an informal way. But when it comes down to structuring online communication, participating in forums and replying to posts or changing ideas, there is a gap there that we want to address. And that's why we tried to bring together all these findings and create strategies institutionally, so across the college, and what measures we need to take, but also what the tutors and the students do separately. So what we said is that we need, first of all, to improve yes, so what we want to see is, as I said earlier, about support services and the lack of principles. We try to incorporate these before the start of their studies. So during their enrollment, they talk to the academic advisors to find out about their online learning readiness and what kind of support they need during their studies. We then put in place different measures during orientation week, and but also throughout the academic year through the use of academic tutor sessions for our students. Then, in terms of institutional change, say something.
A major issue we did face was when we originally planned our activities designed by a backward design process, as a few colleagues mentioned earlier today, but that was early in the design process. So we went back to the ABC system and hear feedback from colleagues and from students, but so include the overall design process. And initially, a challenge we also do face the overall engagement level of students in terms of building community. There were a lot of talks earlier on before, so perhaps we should design a strategy early in the design process, building a community the first year.
And finally, we also wanted to engage students in extracurricular activities as well. So we are creating tailor-made, so personalized seminars throughout the year, where the students discuss what kind of generic themes or topics they want professionals to talk about. So we bring guest speakers from the industry to talk to the students about employability skills and gaining new knowledge by listening to the experts. Thank you very much.
Thank you.